go full 70s and something Sting would do. But the result is that it's neither Sting, neither Ry Cooder or Bo. It's more me because I tend to digest all of this, and I don't want to just mimic. I want to do something that's
sure.
That's me.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't implying that you were mimicking, but I heard an influence, and I heard an influence, and of course I didn't associate it with Bowie until you said something, but I just heard like a general, Euro influence, something that you don't hear over here in the States as an originating factor.
Okay. I hear you. I think on this song particularly, there's a bit of Bowie, a bit of the Police, and a bit of Queen when they did The Game in 1980. But I realized that after that I was chasing this sound for this song. I don't really know why, but in my mind, I knew it had to sound 1980. And you're right. It's a European sound. From this time. But Bowie was just an influence for the concept more than just music style. It's really because he used these crazy lyrics on the album Earthling in '97. That was really strange drum and bass and stuff, and that I really love. And there are out of this world lyrics. You don't really know what they're talking about, but that's the point. I mean, everybody's got to create his own home movie in his head, and I find that very interesting.
Well, I like the fact that you are striving to be creative within your own sound and feel. Take your style, be creative with it, use these outside influences, not to copy, but to draw more out of you. And it does the concept of what you were talking about, the clip and paste concept there. That does remind me of those games there online, the little forwards where they say, what's your movie name? Take the first letter of your last name, the first letter of your first name, and combine it with something else. And but we did have one other thing, and it's funny you should mention this and be using it because Nicki Kris, who is just on the show, has a thing where she does something for songwriters. She will post. I'm not sure how often she does it, but she'll do it maybe once a day. She will post a post online where she will give a concept, a thought for writing a song. She'll ask, what do you use to write a song? Well, use this. And she'll say something like maybe shopping at the supermarket or, picking up, groceries, whatever. And it's a similar concept. It's abstract, but yet it draws from within you. Now, before we get too far into time here, I want to give you a chance to tell about your album. Give us, what's the title of the album now?
The album is called Dragons.
Okay.
Because I realized that I had used the word dragon twice in all these songs. I don't really know why. And I thought, well, that's fun, that there is an occurrence there, a repetition. And at the same time, a dragon is something that is like a chimera. You don't really know if it exists. It's mythical, mythological and stuff. And I thought, okay, it works with how all this was constructed. So I kept it.
Absolutely. Now, this next song also has one of those titles that it just seems like it's totally out of context, but I know you can explain it and tell us what Dark is Wire means.
Actually, this is the first one that came with the cut-up technique, and I pushed it really far. I found an online generator that gives you words and sentences, abstract and random from the internet, but I didn't just use what I found. I harvested the words. I had to look for words and images that resonated with me, and it gave me a whole bunch of sentences very, very, very strong to me. And when I tried to sing them on the melody that I had found for this song, it flowed, and the darkest way of parts is really abstract and bizarre, but it fell into my mouth when I sang it for the first time, and I kept it because I thought it's weird, but it's attractive at the same time. I don't know if it's gloom and sexy. I don't know how to say it, but
you've got your thought across and your enthusiasm, and that's important, because if you are enthusiastic about what you've done, then there are going to be other listeners out there who are going to pick up on that feel, and that's very important, because you know as well as any of us that the whole game is being able to relate your music with your audience, and when you make that connection, you have accomplished what you set out to. Clint, I want to thank you so much for being here with us today, and I want to be able to get this in before we run out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Clint Slate. The album is Dragons. You almost caught me there. And this is the latest release. This is Dark is Wire. There you have it. Dark is Wire. That's Mr. Clint Slate from Paris, France. We want to thank you, and we want to thank Nicki Kris for joining us on the show today. Thank you both for a great time, some great music, and we look forward to having you both back again in the future. As we do, you, our audience, will look forward to having you back here next week for another go-round on the David Bowers Awards. John Bon Jovial, take us home.
Well, I think we're on our way. Thanks, folks, for spending the hour with us today. We sure appreciate it. We'll see you again next week. The David Bowers Awards is broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and, of course, from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona, and, as always, free on most of the major streaming services. Be sure to follow the David Bowers Awards on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and all the other usual suspect places. And join us next week at Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern on WRFC FM 106.3 in Rochester, New York. That's radio, Rochester, I always want to say it the wrong way, Rochester Free Radio. And that is at noon on Saturday. You can also find us on Blog Talk Radio Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. UTC. And until next week, of course, we'll look forward to seeing you then. On behalf of David Bowers and Nick, our marvelously geeky engineer, and, of course, myself, the lovably legendary John Bon Jovial, wash your hands, love each other, keep your distance, and we'll see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.